Hello everyone, welcome to Madrid Pulse. You got source of latest news, events, and everything happens in heart of Spain. Everything agreed, and Huijsen will be a Real Madrid player. The transfer figures. The Madrid club's plan is to announce it soon and have him play in the Club World Cup. The agreement for the signing of Spanish-Dutch player Dean Huijsen, DH, to Real Madrid is a done deal. The clubs are already exchanging documents, and only the timeline for the official signing needs to be finalized. The signing should not be officially declared a done deal until everything is signed, but the agreement is finalized, according to Marca. Real Madrid will pay the Bournemouth player's release clause. £50 million, approximately €59.3 million, payable in 3 installments. 10% of the capital gains also go to Juventus, the 20-year-old's former club. He was born in April 2005. Malaga, the Amsterdam-born players' training club, would receive a 5% share through UEFA's solidarity mechanism. In fact, as reported by Radio Marca Malaga at the time, that 5%, shared by all the players' training clubs from the ages of 12 to 23, would go to the aforementioned Malaga and San Felix, where he also played as a DH, the latter of which is now owned by Juventud de Torremolinos. The signing has been accelerated by several details we explained. It's true that Madrid had some initial concerns about Dean's physical condition, but his performance in the Premier League has dispelled them. The club believes it needs a reliable centre-back. He's already proven this. A young player, Alaba's situation and other injuries require a renewal of the position, and one who can perform immediately. This last point is very important. Real Madrid, if everything is confirmed, wants to take advantage of the FIFA transfer window from June 1st to 10th to register Huijsen, so he can play in the Club World Cup. So abrupt, so necessary. The advantage with Huijsen is that there was no need to negotiate with his club of origin. The release clause, £50 million, is paid, and that's it. Nothing more. And so it will be. Dean had 8 consistent and concrete offers. 8. Chelsea were very close, but Real Madrid came along, and that was it. The kid, from a young age, he's a shy kid but with very specific ideas, knew from his time at Malaga that he would play for a big club in Spain, and he's going to achieve it. Before and during signing for Juventus, Dean was already very close to Real Madrid. His family, his father, Donny, was a footballer, even visited Valdebebas, February 2021, but it didn't materialize at the time. Juve promised him a first-team spot at the time, but now, yes, now he's a Real Madrid player. Although until it's official, it shouldn't be official. Football changes every 5 minutes. The Spanish center-back is getting closer to Santiago Bernabeu locker room. One of the signings that has undergone a radical change this season is the addition of a center-back for the next season. The depleted defensive line that Carlo Ancelotti has had to employ during the current soccer season, reaching unprecedented extremes in these last 3 matches, has surprised the leadership. That's why the Madrid bosses have decided to put an immediate end to it. The goal of the executives led by Florentino Perez is the addition of at least one player for each of the positions in that affected defensive line. The arrival of the right back seems to have been under control for some time with Trent Alexander-Arnold, so the arrivals in the other 2 positions would be the priority. The signing of Dean Huijsen has shown this. Real Madrid had shown certain doubts regarding the signing of the Spanish defender, especially considering his release clause. But the urgency to add at least one more center-back to the current first team in view of Xabi Alonso's arrival has prevailed. That's why Fabrizio Romano can release information like the one published on his social media. The Italian reporter understands that Dean Huijsen's entourage has landed in Madrid to finalize the agreement with Real. With this move by those closest to AFC Bournemouth's 2, the now cherry footballer would be one step closer to becoming a white player. Some important details still need to be discussed to close the deal. One of the most important is the length of the contract. Fabrizio Romano recalls that this part of the saga is still under discussion with a 5-year agreement on the table. Real Madrid makes it clear that Dean Huijsen is one of their future bets for the white defense, especially now that Xabi Alonso promises to bring changes to the first team. In any case, Fabrizio Romano points out that the agreement is made for the £50 million clause to be paid in 3 installments. The player's contract is being arranged. With this information, Real Madrid is about to certify the second signing of the upcoming summer market. And who knows if the second also for the Club World Cup that kicks off on June 18th for the White Club. Xabi Alonso's suggestions would have had a particular effect in the Valdebebas offices. Real Madrid has reacted in time, even before the first advantage of the summer market opens, moving the necessary pieces to add reinforcements to the white defense. The next signing, some venture, would be intended for the left back. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Dean Huijsen, whose signing is about to become a reality according to Fabrizio Romano, would see Álvaro Carreras also join them in Santiago Bernabéu locker room. In this case, from a Benfica that also requests the payment of the release clause from the teams interested in his signing. Real Madrid are set for a busy summer as President Florentino Perez looks to bounce back from a season without major trophies. With Xabi Alonso arriving on the bench and deals all but tied up for Trent Alexander-Arnold and Dean Huijsen, more business is on the agenda for Los Blancos. In addition to the 2 defenders already brought in, Real Madrid will also look to bring in a left-back before the Club World Cup and will examine midfielders this summer too. This does not mean to say that they have put their strategy of recruiting the best talents from Latin America on the back burner, though. Last summer, it was reported that Los Blancos had already reached an agreement on personal terms with River Plate starlet Franco Mastantuono. The 17-year-old cannot move to Europe until he is 18, but has promised El Millonario that he will not do so until the end of 2025 either. Thai Sea Sports, via Sport, report that last week Mastantuono's agents Walter Tammer and Augusto Fernandez were in the Spanish capital and held a meeting with a Real Madrid representative present and Mastantuono on FaceTime. The key topic of discussion was negotiations with River. Los Blancos are not prepared to pay up his €45 million release clause, and their offer would be closer to €30 million. Their idea is to sign him for next season, but the 2 clubs are some way away currently. Atletico Madrid have been recommended the signing of Mastantuono by Diego Simeone, but so far they have not made a move, while Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain also look as if they will pass on a bid. Liverpool and Manchester United are very interested in Mastantuono though, and look like Los Blancos' main competition for the teenage sensation. Working in their favor is that Mastantuono appears to be keen on a move to the Santiago Bernabéu. The reality is that head scout Juni Calafat has an almost flawless record in securing the signatures of Latin American talent